all that I can think of the time that you have given me.
Is there a bigger global conspiracy? Adani-Hindenburg, BBC and Khalistan. Can the China conspiracy angle be ruled out? Debating tonight at 10 p.m.
Friends, the recent suicide attack in Peshawar, inside a mosque, in the police lines, has set the tongues wagging. There are various conspiracy theories, and yet there is the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa police, the police of Peshawar, which has come out on the roads. They're saying that this terror act was not done by any terror organization. They say that this was done by one of our own.
Victor Force, Delta Force, Uniform Force.
इनके नाम के पीछे क्या है सर?
You know, 6 months I went to Chief's office one day. The force headquarters have been sanctioned and we have to give the names. Think of the names today and tomorrow we want the name. I said, sir, जो वैली में है, call it Victor Force. कश्मीर में है, call it Kilo Force. He said, Alpha Bravo Charlie जानता है. मैं कहा, this is all that I can think of the time that you have given me.
You're famous for your dialogues. I'm sure everybody who's seen your films remember the dialogues that you've given us.
I was already established as a star in my way. So Azad Sahib told me, "Yeah, I want you in this film." And then he said, "It is only a special appearance." You know, I was little bit of conscious of it. ये ना हो कि कल मैं आपकी पिक्चर में guest appearance करूँ, वो भी मुझे कहें तो guest appearance. He says, "No, I don't want to know that. You're doing the picture." प्रेम नाम है मेरा, प्रेम चोपड़ा.
From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Arnab Goswami on The Debate at 10, powered by Century Pro Wood and Panasonic.
Welcome back. Sorry for the slight delay in starting Debate 2. Well, the basic question that we have been asking here at Republic TV has been this. If Adani falls, if Adani fails, if Adani falls further, if Adani fails further, who benefits? Who benefits, viewers? Who wants the key ports? Who wants the key mining? Who wants the key power projects? Who wants the global peace? Who wants to see India fail, India fall? Isn't it obvious there could be a bigger conspiracy at play? Isn't the China angle coming across very strongly? Ladies and gentlemen, we connect the dots and then we debate.
It's been a terrible last 3 years for China. Exports are down and the Chinese are looking nervous. Listen to this, how China is battling America for every piece of business.
Regarding the US is beginning to detain imports of aluminum products suspected of being made under conditions of forced labor, particularly in Xinjiang. Does the Foreign Ministry have any comment?
With the excuse of non-existing genocide in Xinjiang, the US has been politicizing trade issues, destabilizing world industrial and supply chains, and this would only hurt the interests of the US itself. We urge the US to stop such wrongful approach, and we will take measures to defend the legitimate and lawful rights and interests of Chinese companies.
The last few weeks have also seen targeted attacks on India, Indians, and the Indian government. The BBC, funded by China, has done a hit job with a docu-series on the Prime Minister. And now the fall of Adani and Adani stocks and enterprises, a critical business group for India with many strategic projects, will help one country, China. And look at the timing. When India is winning over with G20 presidency.
I hereby declare the G20 summit in Bali of Indonesia hereby closed. Thank you. And the throne of the leadership I convey to Prime Minister Modi of India.
When India is touted to be the fastest growing economy, beating China for consistently several years. When India is making strategic gains in Sri Lanka and Bangladesh.
This is showing that the BBC is completely financially interlocked with China, with the Chinese state, through Chinese state-owned companies like Huawei and all that. But the idea is that, to show that the documentary, basically, is no more than a Chinese-inspired initiative.
China is losing key global manufacturing projects like Apple. China is losing projects, many key ones at that, like Apple. And they have friends in India. Let's hear some of the voices fighting Adani in India.
हमें हिंडनबर्ग से कोई लेना देना नहीं है. हमारा यही एक ही कहना है कि LIC, SBI म्यूचुअल फंड पर आपने दबाव डाला और उनको प्रेशराइज करके उनको इन्वेस्ट कराया गया अडानी के कंपनियों में.
The Vadra Congress has been leading this fight, but let's also consider some more factors tonight. China is reopening after a 3-year COVID cloud. Chinese exports have hit a new low. Nations led by America want to stop supplying chips to China. China has huge interest in port projects. Chinese firms are vying for key global mining projects. Chinese markets are headed for a bull market. Adani is making a headway in nations where China has a stronghold. And China has been eyeing projects specifically that Adani has bagged. So can the China factor be discounted completely? Let's debate.
You have to be blind not to see the China angle. But then there is one more thing. You may not be blind, you may be pretending to be blind. That's sometimes what people do. We have MR, Madhav Nalapat, Subrashta, Sushil Pandit and Ratan Sharda on one side. We have Nilanjan Das, Abhishek Sudhir, Renu Mittal, Syed Aslam and Lokesh Jindal on the other side. We have a vast audience, ladies and gentlemen, and just want to say this on the side that recently between the 9 to 11 p.m. slots, MR Venkatesh, I'm happy to share with you that the average viewership on all streaming devices of the Republic Media Network has been about 17 times the closest competitor. So it's right to say there is no competitor. So a lot of people are watching us tonight on every device. And I'd like to... I want to be very factual tonight, very, very factual.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I want Madhav Nalapat to come in. I respect him greatly. And I want him to come in with anyone on the other side. The Hindenburg report, I just said in my last debate, has nothing which is not known. It is all publicly available information. It has been given a headline. The material has been well packaged. But there is nothing in the report which is not publicly available information. So what is the issue? The issue is the timing. Now, here is how I look at the timing. I am not saying that Adani is completely clean, good, this, that. I have been hammering LIC for investing so much in Adani. I have been hammering SBI, so everybody knows I have been hammering and questioning Adani inside out completely. But, isn't it suspicious that just 1 week before Adani was handed over Israel's Haifa port, the Hindenburg report, and Hindenburg is backed by unknown investors who Anderson refuses to disclose the names of, they come out with a report to undermine the conglomerate. it can easily be a Chinese hit job, especially with these kind of factors in mind. Professor Nalapat.
Look, let me confine myself to facts.
Yes.
The first fact is that there is definitely a move for decoupling from China. The second fact is India is considered more and more to be an attractive destination for a lot of investors who want to exit China and come to some other country in Asia. You have Vietnam, you have Thailand, you have the Philippines, you have Indonesia. But bigger than all this in potential in market is India. That's the first point. The second point is Narendra Modi has been target of attack for a very long time. It began way back in 2013, 2012 almost. And you have seen the BBC. The BBC is essentially a complete hit job, quite frankly. And I mean, it was a patent hit job. Now, regarding the Adani saga, I'm not a financial expert, so I can't comment on the merits of the situation, but I can point out one thing, and that is that I was told by two very credible sources in the United States when January 24th, that particular expose was given by Hindenburg Research, that I said, yes, he's a short seller. He's admitted to be a short seller. He wants to make a killing out of Adani stocks tanking. He said, no, please don't have that impression. He may be a small-time short seller. The main intention is to bring down the global image of India as a safe investment destination. Above all, to bring down the image of the Prime Minister as a neutral person. And may I say one thing, Arnab?
Yeah.
From January 24 to now, there is one thing that is clear. Narendra Modi as Prime Minister had nothing to do with Adani. Adani shares have tanked. They are still tanking. I can assure you, if even if the finance minister were involved, forget the prime minister, this would not have happened. So this has clearly said. This has very clearly said.
Everything which
this has
happens in
demonstrated
India,
that the PM has nothing to do with this.
Everything which
And
happens
this
in India
was-
should not be connected to nationalism. Everything which happens in India, whether it's a financial
is not
fraud,
nationalism.
stock manipulation fraud,
These are
or
facts.
the accounting issues should
This
not
is
be
not,
connected to nationalism.
These
Let
are
me put some
facts.
facts. Let me put some facts
These
here.
are
Sir,
fact is
sir,
that a
this
lot
is-
of people
this withdrawal
tried to
of
link the
FPO
Prime Minister
is being
to
seen
Adani
as
Enterprises.
the
They
biggest
did that
and the
directly
largest
and
financial
deliberately.
frauds in the corporates. This is being seen as the largest financial frauds in corporates. Let me give you some insight, sir. I don't know if you have seen this. Let me give you some insight. SEBI, which happens to be India's capital market regulator, I don't know why it has turned a blind eye. In the last 8 years, and now in the last 8 years, in the Adani Group, 5 CFOs have changed. Do you know 5 CFOs has changed, red flagging and indicating accounting issues? Are we saying that our market regulator, which is SEBI, has turned a blind eye? LIC has invested $4 billion. SBI has invested $2.6 billion. Have our government, has it done the due diligence? Have these agencies done due diligence before the investment is done?
Arnab,
It is public money. It is common people who have invested.
This is the panic that is being created.
Arnab,
stop.
Can I get the previous?
No.
I had the paper.
No.
1 minute.
Factually, you're wrong.
Let me
Up till now, you're
30 more seconds.
No, sir. Whatever you
30
said.
more seconds. 30 more seconds. Let me tell you, this company is substantially debt-ridden and over-leveraged. 37%. It has got loans up to 37%. How can the government allow LIC to invest $4 billion and SBI to invest $2.6 billion?
Now,
it is common people's money.
No, 1 minute. I must step in. I must step in. 1 minute. Syed Aslam, can you stop shouting, please? I have a bad throat, right? But with my wonderful baritone, I will put you down without raising my voice. Now, I didn't intend to take him off the screen, but I will tell you one thing. Please, if you dare to spread panic, then I will confront you with the facts. 1 minute, you irresponsible man. I have said that you can question the judgment. There is a difference, 1 minute, between questioning the judgment, and I have said that the level of leverage in equity and debt of LIC as a proportion to their overall investment in equities is high. You can 100% question the management of LIC, and you should. But if you come on Arnab's program and say, oh, people of India, LIC is going to fall, your savings are finished, people of India, State Bank will fall, then you are talking like a Chinese agent, man.
Did I say that?
Don't, no, but you are insinuating that, and you dare not insinuate that on my program. You dare not spread panic on my program. Emma, you got to counter this. This is what I find infuriating. This is not acceptable. No, you can't. Don't spread the lie. Don't spread the lie.
Please.
Let the LIC chairman come here. I'll question him on his decisions. But don't you dare say that LIC is going to collapse, SBI is going to collapse. They won't. You want the Indian economy to collapse. It won't.
Arnab, ask him to keep quiet. Now let me give him a. Sir, your allegation is that LIC and SBI did it without due diligence. You use this word that they, as if there was a phone call from PMO,
yeah,
and the monies were transferred from. That never happened, sir. That can never happen both in SBI and LIC. This is not P. Chidambaram, the finance minister. This is not Manmohan Singh, the RBI governor. Times have changed. People have put systems in place. This is not the Congress regime. You must wake up. There is enormous checks and balances in the system.
If he is going to politicize it, then let me tell you, you are going to have a tough time.
When he finishes, you will come.
No.
Lokesh, when he finishes, we will come. We'll have a proper debate tonight.
Phone banking happened. Phone banking happened during Congress. Everybody knows it. So let us not get into that. The fact of the matter is that don't tell today systems are not in place. It could be a case of bad judgment. That is accepted. But today to say that there was some telephone banking going on, to say that Prime Minister's office was involved, to say there is no checks and balances in the system, something unacceptable. Second, as far as SEBI is concerned, they've already investigated. And there is a report that's waiting to come in. And three, what I understand from Hindenburg's report, and all of which I have gone through, nothing there which is completely taking me off, which is not in the public domain. Please understand, everything is in public domain. Now that it has come from somebody else, and this is where I think Professor Vaidyanathan of IIM is brilliant. He has smelled this.
Sir, you please want to say that the claim that shell companies were created in Cayman Island, even that is being certified and verified by you. So you are basically claiming that all the shell companies, all the dubious entries that were being made
I'm telling you
are all legitimate in the
this was all known.
practices?
Sir, all these allegations are in public domain. All these are in public domain.
I wish to.
All these are in public domain.
Lokesh, I want to come in now. MR, 1 minute. Can I just say 1 minute? Lokesh, see, I know that in everything, everyone wants to score a political point, but I began by saying today that this is a serious debate, which is why you can't let comedians and YouTubers manage this debate. We have got information, and here's the point tonight. See, the point is, 4 firms mysteriously parked 90% of their assets with Adani. There are 4 Mauritius-based funds. I will now name them. Elara India Opportunities Fund, Cresta Fund, Albula Investment Fund and APMS Investment Fund. Apparently, as reported, they have parked over 90% of their $6.9 billion under management in the Adani empire. And there are questions about the rerouting of funds, right, where it has been reported that Elara Capital has 97.43% of its holdings in Adani. It has been allegedly put under investigation earlier, right? So these are questions that I am not dodging and we must not dodge. And I do believe that for all of these questions, it is entirely okay for questions to be asked to Mr. Adani, that Mr. Adani, has there been rerouting of funds? Has there been parking of assets? Have you tried to avoid regulation? Were 3 firms with the same address investing in Adani? Cresta, Albula and this Asia Investment Corporation apparently invested. They shared the same address in Mauritius and then they were named in the Panama Papers. There is no questioning of all of that. So I am the one who has been asking these questions, that these questions are about the practices of Adani. And Mr. Adani will have to answer them and he will have to be put up to scrutiny. Okay? Now, that is what now...
Arnab, 1 minute, Arnab. But the same question should also be put to Hindenburg. Who is the investor of Hindenburg? Who are the people who are handling them?
Sir, nobody
And how
believes
is it
in
that-
Hindenburg.
Why would we be bothered
The
about
entire
it?
world knows
Why would we-
Hindenburg.
No.
Because you are quoting that.
Now they are saying this.
No.
Now they are saying it. Now they are saying it.
No.
Now they are saying it.
No.
Emma, now they are changing their line. Nobody believes in Hindenburg.
No. Listen, Arnab. Let me be very
There is-
clear. Hindenburg Research is a short seller, and whatever it is doing for its own vested interest. But the point is, such reports, they get accepted.
Oh, so you are saying Hindenburg is evil and untrustworthy now, but we will make a big halla over Hindenburg. What a hypocrite you are.
Wait, Arnab, let me make
No. Viewers, this is remarkable.
The loopholes that are there into the markets, into the corporate governance
Listen
in
to
India,
me.
the way tax havens are being used for
Listen to
shifting of
me.
profits, for
Listen to
rotting the
me.
money, for doing hawala
Listen to me.
transactions.
See how now this is
something
getting
which
very
allows
soft.
Do in all these years when he was the
some
finance
form of
minister.
credibility
Okay.
to the
Can I?
Hindenburgs.
Okay, Emma. Listen, both you flyweight boxers, will you stop for a
We came
minute?
up with corporate reforms. We came up with Companies Act.
Okay, listen, two young men having a go at each other. What's going to happen to me?
Please stop it. Please stop it, sir. You
Emma,
had Satya
you're
Mandal,
also on
don't
steroids
give me this
tonight.
crap.
Listen to me. Emma and Lokesh. 1 minute. See Mr. Jindal and Emma. Point being taken, ladies and gentlemen. Second day I have done a debate here. I have seen the most uninformed debates on business channels. Pink papers should be ashamed of themselves. I don't know what the hell they do. No, I'm sorry, MR, I'll tell you, they should be ashamed. They have let the people of this country down. Now also they play safe. I don't play safe. I am having bindas debates on Adani. But I am asking one question. 1 minute, Ratan Shardaji. All my life, I have been only doing one thing, connecting the dots. Now, Renu, 3 months after Xi Jinping personally met, Subrashta, please note, personally met the Azerbaijan president, Adani went to discuss prospects for cooperation in Azerbaijan's petrochemical and mining industries. These are so important that Xi Jinping was personally lobbying with the Azerbaijani president. And if Adani wins, then that competes with China's Trans-Anatolian natural gas pipeline project, which transports Azerbaijani gas to southern Europe. Now we all know how energy-strapped southern Europe has become post the war, which means if Xi Jinping was supporting Putin, it is not a free lunch. It is so that he can take advantage of the shortage of energy supply in parts of Europe. And the only way for him to do that is to use his government pipeline project to take the gas to southern Europe. Now, lo and behold, in the middle of this Ratan Sharda comes a man called Gautam Adani. He takes his chartered flight, right, and he lands in Azerbaijan. And then he has a meeting there with their president, Mr. Aliyev, in their government complex in Samarkand. Now, please understand this. Viewers, please understand. China will immensely benefit. Immensely. I cannot even describe how much. Madhav Nalapat knows how much. We cannot remain quiet anymore. Madhav Nalapat knows how. China will immensely benefit if Adani is unable to enter the petrochemical market in Central Asia, which China has a monopoly and a future monopoly over. Do you understand? You motivated trolls, stop looking at ways to damage your own country. Please understand the picture.
Arnab.
These are big stakes.
Arnab,
these are big stakes.
Hindenburg Research is going
Out of your hate
Modi and India.
and your hate for Modi, your hate for India, don't go overboard, Nilanjan. Lokesh Jindal, you have an agreement with China. You have an agreement with China.
Stocks are listed in Dow Jones.
I am asking the people of India.
Knows that Hindenburg Research, which is a short seller,
Louder.
it is having some form of contract.
This has nothing to do with short selling. It has everything to do with defaming India.
I am saying one at a time, please, gentlemen. I let Professor Nalapat go.
All over the world.
Professor Nalapat.
I have one question for Jindal.
Okay, go on, Ratan Sharda.
One question for Jindal. See, he was talking very virtuously about, Cayman Island and various kind of routing. Does he remember who introduced infamous P-notes? P-notes were introduced by his friend, Mr. P. Chidambaram. who opened the route for this circular economy.
Well said,
right?
man.
Secondly, very interesting fact.
Go for it, Ratan Chadha.
2010, Adani gets a mining contract in Australia, but in 2017, after 7 years, there is an agitation to stop Adani. Okay, led by an NGO, which was funded by OMDR. Mr. You are rattled. Let me complete.
They are
rattled now. You are rattled now. Let me complete.
I must
so
get everyone to watch
2010
this
Australian
program.
mining
Live streaming
contract
right
goes
now.
to Adani
Live
after
interactive
7
poll.
years.
Call
When
so
Modi
open.
comes in, they raise a question against Adani. They say stop Adani. They have an NGO which is funded by OMDR, Ford, Soros. So that the game has started long back. And yesterday I talked about Sterlite. When Sterlite plant was
People,
stopped,
please.
who benefited? China.
Viewers, I'm
When
going to read
Geo
your
towers
tweets.
were destroyed during farmer agitation, who was benefiting? Huawei of China. When infrastructure, Adani is the only company which is in core sectors
No,
in
I
the
need
world.
others also in.
And in the core sectors, China is after them.
I'm saying
string of pearls by China.
Ratan
Who is
Sharda.
countering it?
Ratan Sharda.
Adani taking over ports in the world.
Yeah, Ratan Sharda. Now I want to bring Subrashta and Sushil Pandit into the debate on the left.
Allow me to reply.
And I'm bringing in Abhishek and Renu because I want to be democratic, and I'm also getting in Nilanjan later. See, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to participate in the debate. The hashtag is the China angle. I'll put an interactive poll on this. I will open up my phone lines. Enough is enough. We've seen this go on for too long. The truth has to be told. And I am also going to say this time, please question Adani, but don't pretend to be blind, Abhishek Sudhir. This is not about nationalism. It's about nationalism. It's about national interest. And the point here is, Adani acquired Subrashta, the strategic port of Haifa, for $1.2 billion. Haifa is the second largest port in Israel in terms of shipping containers. It just happened a days back. This port, under Adani, directly counters the Chinese-operated Bay port in Haifa, which China started operating last September. China wanted control of both ports, but China is controlling one and India through Adani is controlling the other. I mean, Adani is controlling, whatever. It's not China. Now, okay, so isn't the benefit to the Chinese obvious if Adani's integrity in the strategic Middle East, which operating a Mediterranean coast port, is compromised? So I'm giving you a second reason why Chinese will be extremely happy. Extremely happy. Azerbaijan, I gave you one example. Haifa, I gave you one example. So the Chinese will be looking at this and saying, listen, we got to stop India. We got to stop this aggressive Indian company. It's over-leveraged. It's got debt. Let's put out a Hindenburg report. Let's put it before the FPO. Anyway, we have an agreement with the Congress. Let's make them, tell them, make a phone call, tell them to make some noise. And that is also going to help us in Hambantota in Sri Lanka, because, please understand this, you know, Jaishankar went recently, Sushil Pandit, to Sri Lanka. We stood guarantee for the Sri Lankan debt. And we are helping Sri Lanka restructure its debt, assist the country in its economic recovery. You think China likes this? Along with this,
Can I speak on this China angle?
Yeah, last point. Along with this, because people are loving what I'm saying tonight, thank you viewers for your support. Along with this, Adani Green Energy just joined the Government of India, NTPC, as the third Indian entity which is building power projects in northern Sri Lanka. This happens after the Chinese-led hybrid power projects in the same area was scrapped. So Adani Green Energy was issued provisional approvals for huge wind power projects for an investment of $500 million in August 2022. So if you can get Adani down, the Chinese can get leverage in Sri Lanka, get leverage in Israel, Haifa, get leverage in Azerbaijan, right? And if this does not stop, Colombo Port, please wake up. Understand. Please don't be short-sighted. Don't be the usual politician here, Abhishek. You get my point. People are watching and they are with me. People are watching, they are with me. And I'm going to give them more facts. Yes, Abhishek.
I get that. I get that. I just want to say. I just want to make a point. If I can just make a point. I just make a point quickly and I'll let you speak.
One of you, Sushil Pandit will go. Sushil and Abhishek for a moment, please, then I'll get the rest. Sushil, I know you have to go. I'll get Abhishek and then Sudhir. Okay, let's get Abhishek, then Sushil, and then Subrashta, everyone in. Yeah, go on, please, viewers. Abhishek, go on.
Why is the See, the point is, the point is this. The point is this. It's been well publicized that, it's been well publicized that India holds the G20 presidency. Right? Renu, if I can just... Renu, please.
Go on.
Just please. See, it's been well publicized India holds the G20 presidency. In addition to the G20 presidency, we also hold the presidency of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The key meet of the SCO is going to happen in India in Goa. I want to know from my government, why are we throwing this big jamboree for the SCO? Why are we inviting the Chinese foreign minister? Why have we invited Bilawal Bhutto? Is China a friend or foe? Is China an adversary or an ally? I want to know from my government. You say that China is enemy number one. You say China is bringing down Adani.
Don't you see a China
wants
angle
India
here?
to fail. You say Rahul Gandhi wants India to fail. I agree with you. But then what is the government doing about it? They're telling us to buy Chinese phones. They're telling us to buy Chinese TVs.
When have they told you to buy Chinese phones?
And that's benefiting China.
Sorry, when did they tell you to buy Chinese TVs? If you bought a Chinese TV, it's your choice.
I think, no.
Who told you?
Of course.
Let me puncture this rhetoric.
Mr. Goswami,
okay, Sushil Pandit is on the debate. He says he's puncturing the rhetoric. This debate is going very, very fast and trending tonight. Yes, please, Sushil.
Yes. Thank you, Arnab. For your esteemed panelists' information, Shanghai Cooperation Organization is not just about China and Pakistan. It is about Russia. It is also about several Central Asian republics. It is also
It's
about
got the name
India
Shanghai in it.
having
Arey Baba,
across different
the Indian Ocean is not owned by India. Are you out of your mind? There's the Indo-Pacific. We don't own the Indo-Pacific. Where are you?
You know how?
Where did you study, man?
It's called Shanghai.
Oh God, this is so irritating. This is so irritating.
Shanghai is in China.
Does he need to be told that China was desperate?
China-led body.
Does he need to be told? Arnab, does he need to be reminded that how desperate China was to enter SARC?
Is Shanghai in
Though SARC was India-centric, you know how important it is. How important it is to...
Lokhandwala.
Is SARC in Shanghai? Why was China interested in entering SARC? Because China wanted a foot in the door here.
It's called the Shanghai Cooperation Organization.
Wherever China exists.
You are cooperating with China. You are in bed with China.
Do you know how insistent China was to enter SARC? Do you know how insistent China was to enter SARC?
Leave the SCO.
It is strategic interest.
Silly argument.
Central Asia is energy.
They are killing our shoulders. Killing our soldiers.
Please get this into your precise brain.
But you want to have a party for them in Goa?
Number two.
Our soldiers are dying in Galwan.
You know, I heard him in peace. Can I have my... Can I have my say in peace? Why is this man derailing your debate, Arnab? This heckler is derailing the debate with not even a penny worth of rhetoric.
I'm talking about the China angle.
Yes, you are. There is a China angle, and that China needs to be neutralized by your presence. You cannot address China angle by receding. You cannot address China angle by running away. You have to meet the China angle by staying put. You have to meet the China angle by staying put and exercising your muscle.
Do you have a Lenovo laptop?
I want to tell you one thing. Can you stop?
Where are your lights from in your house? Are they from China?
What is he talking about?
I don't know.
You have an MOU with China. Do you have an MOU with China? Do you have an MOU with China?
I'm not from the Congress.
Don't you have an MOU with China?
Lokesh Jindal has the MOU, not me.
Don't you have an MOU with China?
I am the most anti-Congress person you know.
Why are you betting? What?
I don't have any MOU with China.
Renu is on the debate. I'd like to bring in Subrashta and Renu and
Nilanjan. Man, I'm not batting for China.
I'd like to bring in Subrashta who hasn't
spoken. Use your
spoken.
brain.
Nilanjan who hasn't spoken.
Of course you are batting for China.
How are you?
Can you just calm down? I want to give some information, Subrashta. Bring your comment in and then bring Renu into the debate.
How am I batting for China, you dullard?
Why are you calling anyone dullard and things? What is the need to do this? You are,
what is he
you are
saying?
sounding.
I don't have an MOU with
Which
China.
school is he from?
Nobody. Maybe
I
the
don't know. Which
Congress
school are you
does.
from, by the way?
Rahul
Yeah,
Gandhi
which
wants
school?
India to fail so he can succeed.
Yeah, which school has taught you? I'm writing a letter to your school now.
Who's brought him
Ask
up?
Lokesh Jindal.
Sushil, I don't know which
I
school
don't
he's
have
from.
any
Who's brought
MOU.
him up?
Please rusticate him.
Where is he from?
I don't know. Which school is he from? By the way, curious.
Has he been schooled at all?
It doesn't seem properly schooled, yeah. Anyway, question is, very seriously, I was doing some research here, Subrashta, and in September 2022, Xi Jinping made his first trip outside China and he went to Kazakhstan because he wanted to win over Kazakhstan in a strategic partnership. 4 months later, Gautam Adani goes to Kazakhstan. And he does not meet corporates there, he meets the Prime Minister of Kazakhstan and they welcome plans of inviting the Adani Group to develop transport infrastructure in Kazakhstan. I asked the question, who benefits and who loses? One last point, Subrashta, and then I'd like your comment. I was talking about Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, Adani signed memorandums of understanding to build 500 megawatts of renewable energy projects in a place called Punerin and Mannar. In these cases, both the cases, who lost? China and Chinese companies. Their solar projects were supplanted by Adani. So, I think we need to ask tonight, who gains from this? Subrashta.
Arnab, you have hit the nail on the head. When you talked about Colombo port, let's remember that almost all ports have been with China. Gautam Adani's company was the first company that actually challenged the Chinese and got one terminal in Colombo, and all hell broke loose in Sri Lanka with respect to anti-Adani camps right there. Post which you have mentioned how Adani Greens actually, Adani Greens, by the way, is I think the world's largest green tech company. And to have an Indian footprint in a global market, it means a lot for us. Forget about, for a moment, let us forget about the SEBI and LIC angle, and of course investigations should be on. SEBI is answerable, LIC should be answerable, as you have been advocating also. But let us, as an Indian, I think it's a matter of immense pride to know that an Indian entrepreneur who rose from nothing actually builds a giant green tech company which produces 30 gigawatts of electricity. And this company actually made inroads into Sri Lanka and, as you rightly said, shifted projects right under China's nose. So then why would global competition, and global competitors of Adani, why would they not want to take him down? Somebody mentioned George Soros on your show, and let us remember the kind of very targeted campaign that has been going on against Adani ever since the whole coal mining business happened in Australia. And George Soros is no ordinary billionaire. He has been funding leftist NGOs who has been, and there are websites dedicated to taking down Adani. I don't understand why is the Indian political opposition not able to back an Indian entrepreneur for the good work that he is doing. Of course, hold him accountable for if there are questions of financial fraud, if there is any question of financial misappropriation, of course one needs to be questioned. But how 100%. Can they be so short-sighted and not look at the larger international politics?
No, 100% and
how can they be completely blind to the China angle?
No, because you see, we have too many opportunists in India. Put your phone down. Put your phone down, Nilanjan.
Or no, Shubharashtra should know what Mr. Shubhendu Adhikari, the leader of opposition in West Bengal, has said about Mr. Adani. She should get her facts right.
We are having such an informed debate. What are you doing here? Bringing the level down, Nilanjan.
Now, I'm informing you because you are not informed on most of the facts.
As usual. As usual. You've been having this trend, as usual. As usual.
Even last day you were missing on the facts.
You know, Arnab, I don't want to glorify... I don't want to glorify Nilanjan with any response, because these are the guys who have been quoting Adani left, right and center ever since the TMC came to power. All right, so please, I don't want any lecture from you on what kind of treatment you guys have given to Gautam Adani. Also, anybody who is a Congress sympathizer should know. Oh, hold on. Let me also school you on facts. The kind of projects that Adani is doing in Rajasthan. as I said, I don't want to engage with you. You are not worth any engagement. You want to turn a highly economic and an international and a diplomatic debate and a debate on international diplomacy into some low-level gutter-chap Indian politics. I don't want to get into that.
This is
So
what
please,
says
by all
Mr.
means,
Shubhendu
rant and
Adhikari.
rave. I don't care. Nobody cares
because
about your opinion
you
any which way.
are only here to come with a monologue because you have nothing to answer. BJP cannot answer anything. This is the problem.
No, you are.
Yeah, I'm
And
not on your show. I'm on
every-
Arnab's show. You are not the
every
anchor.
Republic
Otherwise, I
debate,
wouldn't even
I'm
have come
seeing this
to the show.
nonsense.
May I
that
just
you are equating India with Mr. Modi,
may I
and
just
now you are
Nilanjan
equating
request you,
India with Mr.
request
Adani.
you. No,
This is
Subrashta, don't respond for a while.
shameful.
Don't respond for a while. I am having an informed debate out here, and my issue is see, Sushil, I'm not making any personal comments at all. I just want to share with the citizens of the country certain facts, and this is my analysis. If you don't like it, reject it. But Renu, see, we have a strong leadership of the G20 during a period of global crisis. We've shown strong economic growth after COVID-18, right, amidst all the turmoil. I give you one example. I was talking about it last week. We are in competition, right, with the Chinese for the 1.7 billion Alexandria metro project, Egypt's second largest city. And you saw the charismatic LCC, the Egyptian president here, with his army contingent marching on Kartavya Path. He was the chief guest. So what we are mixing is high diplomacy and global trade. And then I want to comment on our neighbors. We had lost out on the relationship with our neighbors. Now look at the fantastic situation in Bhutan. Look at the pro-India regime change in the Maldives. Look at how we have completed the feasibility study for the Raxaul-Kathmandu railway line in Nepal. Look at our growth as a manufacturing hub. Look at the fact that our trade with Indonesia, for example, has hit a record level. Our trade with Japan is hitting a record level. You need to understand we are a global threat to China. Please do not oppose me for the sake of it, Renu. Forget domestic politics for a while.
India-China trade.
Renu, please. Yes, Renu.
Let us also look at the facts in the face. The facts also are that the stocks and shares are falling, that the banks
they have
are
recovered
in panic,
today.
that there is a huge amount of investigation which needs to be done. Please let me talk. You have said enough, Arnab. You are not allowing people to talk.
Shares have
you are
already
going
recovered.
on and on.
No, you
like
cannot
one
spread
gentleman put a
falsehood.
whole Amul butter on the fact that Prime Minister Modi has nothing to do with
people are prophets of
Adani.
doom.
The government has been pushing
You
the Adani
people are
empire.
prophets of doom.
The government has been
You
pushing
want
him
India to
in
fail
airports,
since long time.
In airports.
Ratan Sharda, please give your lecture
What are you
to
doing?
Shubhendu Adhikari.
The man who walked with Rahul Gandhi, the man who walked with Rahul Gandhi has been predicting doom
Let's
for
forget
India
Rahul Gandhi.
since 2019.
Shubhendu Adhikari, not Rahul Gandhi. Shubhendu Adhikari.
I'm not against Rahul Gandhi. I'm talking of prophets of doom who want India to go down the tube since 2019.
Renu Mittal.
India has not gone down. Sorry.
The Adani empire was. No, please let me talk. I didn't interrupt any of you guys. Please let me talk. Please let me talk. No, please. Let us see.
Talk on. For Pfizer,
please. Go on and on and on.
Want India to
You've got a convenient whipping boy. Please.
Supported by the government.
You are calling Xi Jinping a boy.
According to you guys, India is little.
Xi Jinping is a boy, a whipping boy to you.
Toxic people.
Renu, get serious. I'll tell you another
thing. The point is that one Hindenburg report has brought the Adani empire down like a house of cards. Why? Because it was so fragile. So much of wrong had been done. This government went on protecting Adani.
Okay, Subrashta.
This government went on pushing
Subrashta
Adani.
Madam
all kinds of
Subrashta and Renu only.
And government banks
do you know that George Soros
so much of loans. Please.
Miss Renu,
when the economy crashes, then it should come. What is happening? Why are we doing
Madam
this?
Renu, I have one question.
You
I have one
found
question to ask of you.
You go on beating China. Doesn't
Both
matter.
debates are trending.
You can go on doing this, but it is like a house of
Madam
cards.
Renu,
It's
please
falling.
tell me when I
It's
can ask
falling
a
about
question to you with respect to the
go on.
Hindenburg project that you
It may be
mentioned.
China. You can
Subrashta,
ask
go
any
on.
number of questions.
I
But
want
the point
Arnab,
is that
these facts are all there in the public domain. I'm not trying to put down.
You have to ban.
I'm not trying to put down the information. Trying to look down upon the information furnished by the Hindenburg report. But then Madam Renu should stop speaking and allow the other person to interject a point that she made.
Both debates are trending.
Renu ji.
So
Renu ji,
hello,
hello Renu ji.
Go ahead.
आपको पता है ना हिंडनबर्ग का जो रिसर्च हुआ, it has been backed by George it has been backed by George Soros. Do you know this? Do you know that Hindenburg has anonymous donors? So do you not see a China angle here? Why are you trying to defend China?
So many companies here.
Why do you have a problem?
Doesn't matter.
Questions about China, the whole Chinese angle here.
Forget that.
MRG says it doesn't matter.
Let's talk
if
about
Hindenburg is backed by the Chinese.
I think everybody on the show.
How opportunist can you get, man? I have to take a few calls.
I think Renu ji, you are getting it all wrong. Please, Renu ji, you are getting it all wrong.
Because you can't find anybody else.
Nobody is here to defend. Nobody is here to defend. If there has been any financial misappropriation.
No, but they are. This government.
Bhargavi is calling in first from Mumbai. Bhargavi, hi. Go on, Bhargavi. Go on. What do you think?
Please, the million.
Yes.
Go on, Bhargavi. Go on. Please listen to Bhargavi, ladies and gentlemen, from Mumbai.
Yeah. Can I speak right now?
Go on, Bhargavi.
Yes. So firstly, I would like to appreciate you and Team Republic for, doing this coverage because, it's very, very, balanced and very, very, well-researched, coverage on Adani. Adani issue is very serious and it needs to be investigated by SEBI and all other stakeholders which are needed to be involved in this. Having said that, I think the China angle is important.
Absolutely, Bhargavi, it is.
The reason being is because, Adani has taken over things which have been looked by China and all. And another thing is, this has been happening ever since India has been...
Totally, Bhargavi, totally. I want to get in Professor Nalapat on this. Professor Nalapat, the debate is getting a lot of keen interest. People are opening up to the bigger picture. People are opening up to the bigger picture for the first time.
Yeah, Arnab, let me tell you one thing. There is no question that there was an effort to basically seize the assets, external interests. I was told some in the Middle East, some in the Far East. Far East is of course China. But may I point out that the Indian economy is safe. I'll tell you why. Even if this game succeeds, and Adani is tanked, then I can assure you, in my view, these assets will be taken over in the way equity debt was converted to equity in the Vodafone example.
In Vodafone, absolutely.
Exactly.
It's Indian interest at hand. That's what happened today.
Will belong to the people of India, and they will continue to belong to the people of India. I am not holding a brief for Gautam Adani. I am not going in the merits. I am simply pointing out, if Adani had this kind of 24/7 support from this government, from the finance minister, from the prime minister, he would not be in the sticky situation he is. And even if the worst happens, this government will ensure the assets remain with India, in Indian hands, if necessary, by converting loans into equity.
Absolutely. And by the way, viewers, just one thing as I go to Meera and Mysuru, please remember.
Seriously believes what he's saying.
Please remember, Renu, that after Sonia Gandhi, after Xi Jinping threw a party for Sonia Gandhi when she went on the Beijing Olympics, after that, in the remainder of the years of the Congress government, the Congress did everything possible to let China enter Sri Lanka. take over, build submarine bases near Sanya at the southern tip of the Hainan, develop infrastructure in Myanmar. So the Congress, Sonia Gandhi's Congress government did everything possible to help the Chinese. And Meera is calling in from Mysuru. Meera, hi. What do you think?
Good evening. I really appreciate the way you bring out the facts. But one thing is, not alone China or the other investigative people, but our Indians are also against Adani, most of them, and they're feeling very happy that his stocks are going down. I think we as nation should stand with him till the things come out.
Who's responding?
Come out, actually.
Lokesh, Mr. Jindal.
Can I come in
here?
Yeah,
go on quickly, but 10 seconds.
Yes. See, the nation is not going to fall prey. But the point is, we also need to make sure that there should be a sound structural infrastructure put into place, that if some form of an agency comes up with any company, okay, today it's Adani, tomorrow it could be Reliance, day after tomorrow it could be Ambani, any particular company, Tata's and all. We have a lot of investors who have invested their savings into these companies, so the structure should be so intact that these forms of reports
Too
should be
interesting. One is a softer line tonight from the Congress. Softer line from the Congress tonight. Second, disowning of the Hindenburg report. MR, they say we don't know Hindenburg now. And acceptance of the China angle. MR.
Two questions. Who sponsors Hindenburg in the name of transparency, and what is their agreement with the PLA? They also have to come out in the name of transparency. So they will definitely go on defensive on these two counts.
They're already on the defensive. Ladies and gentlemen, big news day today. It's going to continue to be a big news day tomorrow. By the way, one of the stories we've not looked at in very much detail on the debate tonight, but which is huge really, is what Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma is doing, ladies and gentlemen, where he's going all out against child marriages. The Assam Chief Minister deserves to be complimented for this massive effort. We'll report that in detail tomorrow, follow it up, and I shall see you. Have a great weekend. Good night and goodbye.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Everything we know is at risk. The time to act is now. We must all be champions. Champions for the earth.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाइड क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
विक्टर फोर्स, डेल्टा फोर्स, यूनिफॉर्म फोर्स, इनके नाम के पीछे क्या है? You know, 6 months I went to Chief's office one day. The force headquarters have been sanctioned and we have to give the names. Think of the names today and tomorrow we want the name. I said, sir, जो वैली में है, call it Victor Force. कश्मीर में है, call it Kilo Force. He said, Alpha Bravo Charlie जानता है. मैं कहा, this is all that I can think of the time that you have given me.
You're famous for your dialogues. I'm sure everybody who's seen your films remember the dialogues that you've given us.
I was already established as a star in my way. So Azad Saab told me, I want you in this film. And then he